because that kind of shook the trees. And in shaking the trees, they got a lot of tips coming in. Within 2 hours, I'm told, they were able to get solid leads that took detectives up to Bakersfield, over to San Antonio, Texas, and then eventually here to a house in East LA, where just this morning they arrested the father and the son.
Now, as far as the tips are concerned, I was watching an interview yesterday with law enforcement officials who said the finding of the body of Gavin Petito would never have happened without a tip. And that's the vast majority of these cases, because where do you look? You got 25,000 acres. So much the same happened here. Someone just decided, 80 grand, you know what, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's always the crazy thing is that money becomes a great motivator. People don't do these kinds of things out of the altruistic, effort of being just a good neighbor or because it's better for the community. It takes $80,000 to take the street. And in this particular case, they were already on to these guys. And I will tell you this much. I was privy to this information because they were telling me and keeping me informed about this case. They had eyes on this house in East LA for at least 6 weeks. They knew who they were looking for, but they needed just those final little pieces of information to dot the I's and cross the T's. That's what that press conference was in August, and they got exactly what they needed. I spoke to a neighbor over here just a few moments ago who characterized their son as basically terrorizing this neighborhood, and that they had these people so scared and intimidated. A lot of older couples here, families, people, predominantly Hispanic neighborhoods here in East LA. And this, apparently, this father and son duo also have gang ties, but it looks as though they now, I'm looking at the father sitting in the back. It's transported the son a few moments ago. I got great video and footage of that. I even asked him sitting in the car why he killed those 3 people. So I've got all that coming up soon.
Oh, yeah, no question. I want to hear that. Was that DNA evidence, by the way, that put it together, or was it other evidence?
It's other evidence, and they're not going to get into the specific evidence for obvious reasons, but they have told me that they have witness testimony. They have told me that they have, the surveillance footage. They've told me they got a lot of people that can place Anthony Velasquez at the scene. And I will tell you that the way this was being characterized to me, which is such a really crazy motive, but Anthony Velasquez apparently had been dating the girl that he killed back in 2018. And then when you look back historically as to, well, what's the connection of the 2 guys dating back to 2014? Well, it looks like those 2 guys had been dating his ex-girlfriend, and if nothing else, at the very least, there was some sort of a revenge plot at play as well.
And in terms of terrorizing the neighborhood, was this like an extortion protection racket, or just they were a bunch of bastards?
I would say the latter, not the former. One of the neighbors also characterized at one point there was a car accident out in front of their home, and in front of Velasquez's home. And they got so angry when the driver that actually hit the parked car, that Velasquez had come out and taken a knife and stabbed the tires so that he couldn't get away. And they said that they were violent and just very belligerent, and they were scary. And that's the way the neighbors describe them.
And all the neighbors were too frightened to call the police, the authorities.
Pretty much, until the reward. Well, the thing is they knew they were bad people. Again, this is according to the neighbors. They knew they were bad people, but when they saw those sketches come out, they knew. And then the photo of the PT Cruiser, because that's an unusual vehicle. And when they saw that, they all looked at each other and said, those are our neighbors. And so I was told that all the most important tips in this case came from within a few houses of this house that I'm standing in front of right now.
All right, let's take a break, come back, and we'll play some of that audio, which is always...
Actually, Bill, I can't do that because I don't have that audio queued up because I'm standing here with my mic. We're waiting for a briefing, but I'm going to press it, and we can debrief again tomorrow if you'd like.
Yeah,
because I'll have it all.
Okay, but you can paraphrase what Velasquez said, right?
He didn't say anything. That was the lead up. I asked him, and he just gave me a sneer. He just basically sneered at me. There's actually a photo on my Instagram, Kfi Am, where I caught him right when they put him in the van, and he stuck his tongue out over his mouth and stuck his whole tongue out at me and gave me a scowl. And then when I got him and they were putting him in the squad car, he just kind of sneered at me and kind of struck his head off to the side. So
most of us would be fairly frightened being handcuffed and thrown into a police vehicle. And then you have people that have been around the block so many times, and I'm assuming because of their gang connection, where they, number one, know the system, and they just, it's like they just blow it off. And
Yeah.
I've seen those people, and they just, do they do that, just curious, do they do that in court also?
Sometimes, absolutely. I've seen sometimes where these people, they know they've been caught, so they don't really have anything to lose. So they're just gonna act up, and they're gonna act tough all the way to the end. But some others that just are scared to death, and they pee their pants and break down crying. I've seen both, you know. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do fine.
What, pee your pants?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No question about it. More so than I usually do, by the way. It would be horrible. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go away. KFI AM 640 live everywhere. Brian Rubin in the KFI News Center. Brian.
Britney Spears' attorney has filed court papers requesting that the process be started to end her 13-year conservatorship. Metro is doing train testing on the new route of the future Crenshaw to LAX transit line. Look for some delays on that route. And a guard at the federal prison in downtown LA has been arrested and charged with lying about having sex with an inmate under his supervision. We'll have a look at trouble on the 91 next.
If you want out of your house, it doesn't matter what the reason. You're going to move, get out of Dodge, downsizing, financial issues. Let's say you've inherited a house and really don't know what to do with it. Normally, you call a real estate agent who come out and buy up and want the 6%. And also will tell you, you got to clean this, you got to paint over here, this kind of sloppy, you have to repair, you have to, in many cases, stage the area. We're going to bring in furniture because yours look like crap. Well, can you imagine selling your home for a fair price without any of that? No buyer ever walks through your house, no appraisal, you pay no commissions. And that gets pretty pricey when you're selling your home. And you can get paid in cash and get it done within 10 days or less. That's directbuyers.com. Directbuyers.com is a company that's run by a brother and a sister, Janet and Matt. We spent time together, lots of time together, and I just love the way they do business. They don't lowball you. They're just honest, good folks. They've been around for a long time. A lot of shockers in this business, and I'm telling you, these folks are not. This is a real thing. They give you an honest, no obligation offer, and they can even get you $15,000 cash advance before closing to help with your move. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com, 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
It is slow going on the 90 through Fullerton.
Well, it sure is now. East 91 at Harbor Boulevard. That's about the halfway point between the I-5 and 57. Quite a crash there. It's been cleared or clearing. They just use those words. Now, right around the 5, again, this is the eastbound 91, right around the 5 at Shell South, once you get through that interchange, they'll start moving a little bit. At one time, we had all lanes blocked there, so a little slow going. After that, you'll be okay. Going through LA now, I just have to give you a heads up about the westbound San Bernardino Freeway, the West 10. From the Kellogg interchange, from the downhill side, gosh, all the way up to the 605. It's just a morning crawl. It's really one of those tough drives. Once you get past the 605, things are a little bit better. And then driving through Ontario, big time delay. We were out there a little while ago, saw it all. E60 at Grove, that's just a little bit south of the airport, Ontario Airport. Only carpooling was up on big cleanup going on back up Central. Use the eastbound 10. From the 57 up to the 15, it's still in wonderful shape, and you'll be happy that you're listening to this radio program. Injured next, and visit superwomansuperlarry.com. Jeff Ball, KFI in the sky.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
You know, most people think that varicose veins are just embarrassing. They're just a cosmetic issue. Hey, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. You should know that if left untreated, varicose veins can cause ulcers, infections, and even dangerous blood clots. West Medical specializes in the most advanced, minimally invasive varicose vein treatments available, and it's covered by most PPO insurances. So call 1-800-WEST-MED or westmedical.com to set up a free consultation with a vein expert today.
At Fit and Place, we know the people are experts at all kinds of things, except one, how to shop for the right mattress.
Right, Dad. Shopping for a mattress isn't something you do every day or even every 8 years.
That's why Fit and Place has mattress experts with an average of 10 years experience and bed match technologies that scientifically recommend just the right mattress for you.
So for expert advice, trust your sleep to Fit and Sleep.
You know, Drew, I'm an expert at other things.
Like what?
Screaming free!
Imagine if the first ever way we did things just became the way forever. Like, what if we never replaced the telegraph? Ridiculous, right? Well, that's what happened with home cells. So we at OpenDoor invented a new way. The one we sell directly to us and skip the listings, showings, and other hassles of selling the traditional way. Leave a free offer today at opendoor.com/myoffice. Show your home the new fashion way. OpenDoor. OpenDoor is represented by OpenDoor Brokerage, license 0206-1130 in California, and OpenDoor Brokerage LLC in Federal Market.
Find yourself in Spain. Visit Café Sevilla in the heart of downtown Costa Mesa, San Diego, and Long Beach. Enjoy live Gypsy King-style music and late-night dining in the Tapas Bar 7 nights a week. Or experience their dazzling flamenco dinner show every weekend. With the holidays fast approaching, Sevilla offers private event spaces that will wow your guests. Dine like a true Spaniard and toast the holidays with a steaming pan of paella and festive sangria. Visit cafesevilla.com for more info. Hello!
I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at OPO Law, where we've had a 98% success rate on over 10,000 personal injury cases. One case that holds a special place in my heart is when we represented a 6-year-old girl who was tragically hit by a car in front of her home. Despite this little girl's horrible injury, the driver offered nothing. I took it to trial, and the jury awarded her $25 million. For over 4 decades, OPO Law has gone to battle with the insurance companies, and injured victims have received over $1 billion. We don't accept the insurance company's lowball offers, and we are not afraid to take your case to court and fight hard to get you the money you deserve. If you have been injured in an accident, dial pound 250, use keyword personal injury to connect to OPO Law.
OPO Law, the law firm insurance companies fear most.
I'm Susan Owen, and I would be honored to handle your case.
When you dial pound 250, you'll have the option of receiving an auto-dialed text message from iHeartMedia.
Concerned about COVID? COVID Clinic can help. With multiple locations throughout SoCal, COVID Clinic offers testing for schools, businesses, or travel with no cost to patients. Testing available and rapid results that can detect the Delta variant. Results usually available within an hour. And if you test positive, COVID Clinic can help you find treatment. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID, especially during the holiday season. Find your nearest location at covidclinic.org. That's covidclinic.org.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
You said you wanted to be the person who's going to deliver babies.
Yeah.
You've never seen a baby delivered.
I've seen it tons of times on the television. Navigate the baby out of the part that it comes out of.
I'm sorry?
Gary and Shannon.
Wow.
Weekdays at 10 a.m.
I want a YouTube channel that does nothing but show your hand motions every time we talk about something uncomfortable.
On KFI.
This is KFI AM 640 Handle here on a Thursday morning, September 23rd. And some of the big stories we're carrying, the FBI did authorize the use of the Pfizer vaccine booster for people over 65 and those who have underlying health conditions or the people in jobs that put them at high risk of first responders, nurses, doctors, that sort of thing. One of the things that I want to cover with you, and this was done before, and this is a sidebar story to the climate change. And California, well, I was going to say gets hit particularly hard, but the entire country gets hit particularly hard. It almost doesn't matter where you're at. And our issue is water supply. We just don't have enough. We have of course, the wildfires, and we have drought. And the drought is getting deeper and deeper. 90% of California is now officially in drought. And so the call is out to now conserve water. And the Californians have jumped on it. Boy, are we successful. Water usage at home dropped 1.8% compared to last year, even after the governor urged all of us to conserve 15% as the drought continues to spread. And it's a little bit wonky here, but water providers south of the Delta, where we get a lot of water, rely on water allocations. That's already been slashed by 5% this year, and we're told to brace for the possibility of zero supply next year, which means the scrambling is going to go on, and for a couple of reasons. We get Colorado water, and it's just crazy how wonky and convoluted and complex the law is. Riparian law is a specialty dealing with water rights. Who the hell does that? You talk about, you contact handleonthelaw.com and you want a riparian law lawyer. No, we don't have any. But if we don't cut our water supply, it's again, we just tend to put our head in the sand, very dry sand, I might add, and it's tough. I mean, what do you do when all the proclamations and prognostications by the scientists that it's happening, climate change is happening? They were wrong, by the way, because it happened a whole lot quicker than anticipated. Now, we've had droughts before. Do you remember, I think, 74, 75? And the drought was fairly severe, and there was a phrase that had been bandied about in terms of conserving water, and it was half embarrassing. And the phrase that was used, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down to conserve water. Unfortunately, I always confuse the two. And so you come to my place, it was disgusting. But it worked. We cut our water usage. Now we don't. It's amazing how the worse it gets, the more we tend to put our heads in the sand and ignore what is right in front of us. I mean, do we wait until all of California burns down? What do they do along the Mississippi when floods come? What do they do along the entire Gulf? Well, New Orleans built those seawalls, built those barriers, and those held. But the problem is, you get the winds on a hurricane. And people live in areas that are just prone to insert name of natural disaster here. We're earthquake land. Not only are we in drought, but we also have the beauty of earthquakes. And when the next earthquake comes, the big one, start buying property, because that's when people start bailing out immediately. And then they go, I guess, to the southeast and get flooded out. And then where do you go? Well, the Dakotas, Wyoming, are they in drought? I think that's the best place to live vis-a-vis climate change in the United States. But there are answers to this. There really is. One of the things, agriculture uses 90% of all of the water that is utilized here in California. And there are things that can be planted. For example, almonds. They got rid of almonds. Almond farmers are thrilled about this one. A huge savings in water, because almond trees just suck up water like you can't believe. Or is that almond bushes? Or is that almond root? Like watermelons. Do they grow right on top? I think they're trees. They are trees. I knew that. That's enough, Brian. We won't be talking anymore, okay? Rule number one, we don't correct handle on the show. We just agree. You're absolutely right. Coming up, Dr. Jim Keeney, co-director of the ER hospital at Mission in Mission Viejo, and he's the ER doc and comes in. He's our go-to guy. A lot to talk about regarding COVID and what's happening out there. We'll be right back with Jim. This is KFI AM 640. Let's check in with Brian Baruman. Yeah, I'll get that, and that's right. Isn't it, Brian?
That is right.
Brooming. Okay, thanks.
The number of people going to the hospital with COVID-19 in LA County has fallen below the 1,000 mark for the first time since July. The county public health department says yesterday there were 991 COVID-positive patients in county hospitals, a drop from 1,018 on Tuesday. There were also fewer people in the ICU. News brought to you by 800 No Cup. The governor of Texas has signed an anti-human smuggling bill into law.
Human trafficking is a horrific crime that preys upon especially women and children. And what happens to those women and children who are trafficked is unspeakable.
Governor Greg Abbott says the new law increases penalties for traffickers, especially if they do it for money or carry a weapon. Abbott says the law also curbs drug smuggling because traffickers often sneak drug dealers into the U.S.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
The Hallmark Channel is skipping fall and heading straight to the holiday season with its newly released Christmas movie lineup. The channel's countdown to Christmas starts next month and will include 14 new movies. There's a crash on the 110.
Boy, is there ever, right outside Dodger Stadium. Listen up now, coming out of South Pasadena, South 110, the Arroyo Seco, again, right outside Dodger Stadium at Stadium Way. 4 drivers have tangled. Now, we've been circling this for a few months. There's still no help on scene, so CHP Freeway Service Patrol, if you're out there, really use your help here. 4 drivers got all tangled up. They're in the left lane in the South 110. Now, it's fairly good from coming out of South Pasadena, but really stops now before you get to the I-5. Now, South 5 itself, coming out of Burbank, not too bad. A little slow from Los Feliz down to the East LA interchange. All lanes are open. Leaving the San Fernando Valley, South 101, it's already slow from Hollywood Boulevard all the way down the 4 level. And complicated somewhat, there's a car on fire. It's off the freeway at the end of the South 101 Alvarado off-ramp. The freeway itself is all open. Now, a little bit of good news. If you're trying to get through Inland, E60 at Grove, going through Ontario, the carpool and 2 left lanes have been reopened now, so it's improving somewhat, but still real slow coming away from the Central. That's better than it was. It was most of the freeway was shut down. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Frost, KFI in the sky.
There's money out there, especially during COVID, but it's getting hold of it. We're talking about governmental money. So here's one. If you own a business and manage to keep 5 or more people on the payroll, there's a government program out there that will pay you $26,000 per employee. And this isn't a loan. This is a grant. Here you go, $26,000 per employee. But the challenge is getting your hands on the money because this is bureaucracy to an insane level. And so let me tell you about Innovation Refunds. InnovationRefunds.com cuts through that red tape, gets you the money. Their tax attorneys and CPAs are experts in helping businesses like yours, like mine, get their share of these government incentives and relief funds. And they do all the legwork. And they don't charge $1 until you receive the money and you share a percentage of the cash they get for you. InnovationRefunds.com. Go to InnovationRefunds.com, click on the Qualifying Needs button, answer a few questions, and just get started. InnovationRefunds.com.
Southland weather from KFI. Partly cloudy this morning, then sunny. Highs in the low to mid-70s at the beaches, low to upper 80s in metro LA and OC, mid-80s to mid-90s in the Inland Valley, and low to upper 90s in the Inland Empire. We Local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Bruman.
Want the best possible price on your next car? Download the Roto app. That's R-O-D-O. Roto lets you browse thousands of vehicles from local dealers right from your phone and even offers contact-free delivery. And with Roto, there's never any haggling. The price you see is pre-negotiated and already includes every available discount. There's no hidden fees and no surprises. Just 100% transparent pricing. So for an easy car buying experience, download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's ROTO.com. Call Service Champions for their $88 professional AC tune-up at 833-777-7777.
Hey, this is Josh Kelly, running back for the Los Angeles Chargers. Vaccinations changed the game. Nearly all new COVID-19 deaths are among the unvaccinated. Don't risk it. Protect yourself by getting vaccinated. All the vaccines offer strong protection against variants like Delta, which spread faster and are easier to catch. Getting vaccinated is quick, free. It doesn't just protect you, it protects your family and community. Find a clinic near you at vaccinateall50h.com. Play your best defense. Vax up.
Summer ends soon, so hurry in for the final days of the Honda Summer Sales Event at the Norton Reed Honda Superstore. New Hondas are arriving daily and adding to our super selection, which means you can secure a super price when you put your name on this favorite model. Every new Norton Reed Honda is backed by our exclusive price protection guarantee, which states if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norton Reed will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Plus, return your Honda lease to any of our 5 lease return super centers and receive a super upgrade experience. Put your name on a super new Honda before the Honda Summer Sales Event ends. Visit our super award-winning Norton Reed Honda Superstore location in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Pittsburgh. Shop online at nortonreed.com. That's the Global Honda and Vehicle Sales 2020.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
This is KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here. Good morning on a September 23rd, Thursday. A lot going on in the world of COVID. The FDA just authorized the use of the Pfizer vaccine booster for people 65 years and older. Younger adults, underlying health conditions, and those in jobs that put them at high risk for COVID-19, which means every doctor out there who works anywhere near someone who has COVID or a ward, for example. Jim Keeney, co-director of the ER at Mission Hospital in Mission Viejo. Morning, Jim. Long time we haven't talked to each other.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
Yeah, it has. Incidentally, I'm assuming you've already boosted up, right?
No, I mean, a lot of it's a weird thing going around right now in the medical community, right? Everybody's wanting to get themselves tested for the antibody. Then they get themselves tested, and they think that the antibody level's too low, so they go get boosted. And so, but the problem is there's no science behind that level. There's no algorithm to include your level to see if you really do need a booster. So, I'd say, maybe 30% of the people I know have already gone to try to get their booster. I haven't yet. My level came up. You get this level that if it's less than 1, you're not immune. If it's more than 1, you're immune. But some people are getting levels that are like 5, some are getting 10, some are getting 20. Mine was like 1.8. I don't know what to make of that. It's technically I'm immune.
But Jim, where's the downside of that?
You're right.
Other than the government taking your DNA and controlling your body, I understand that. But outside of that, I got my booster because I was lucky enough to have the Pfizer vaccine. But you know what? Why not?
Yeah, you're right. And so here's the thing: is that I had to go online, like to fill it out. I had to go online, and the only way you could get a booster before the 20th was to say you were immunocompromised. So I got to that step, and I was like, what am I doing? I don't really need this right now. I'll wait until whatever time you're allowed to get the booster, because I'm not that worried about it. So that's what stopped me. I didn't want to have to say I was immunocompromised, because I'm not immunocompromised. So, that was it. Otherwise, I was on my way. I was ready. I was filling out the form. I was about to go get boosted. But now I can go get boosted, because now you don't have to be immunocompromised to get it. So, yeah, I'll probably do it in the next week or two whenever I have a convenient day. But am I that worried about it? Not really. I think that I have pretty good immunity now. The test says I have some immunity.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that there's this immunity memory that's going to come back to life, when you get immune. Am I as immune as if I just got a booster? No. So if we were seeing lots of cases again, and I'd probably go ahead and get boosted right away.
Now, here in Southern California, we're not seeing lots of cases. We are probably the best place in the country in terms of deaths, hospitalizations, confirmed cases. Why? And I know the answer, but I want your credibility on the table. Why are we doing so well?
Well, I mean, obviously we're doing well because it's a combination of two things. One is natural immunity, but by far the thing that tips the scales is vaccination.
Yeah.
So we are literally, I haven't seen a vaccinated COVID case in so long. It's ridiculous. I mean, they're getting it. Still, people are getting COVID, but they're not getting sick enough to sit in a waiting room for 5 hours and wait to be seen. They just realize, oh, you know what, I'm not that bad. But it's just over and over again. Yesterday I gave Regeneron again to another unvaccinated person. That was my only COVID case I've seen in the last 4 or 5 days. It was just one unvaccinated person who was sent in by her doctor because they wanted her to get Regeneron.
Do you have you treated patients who refuse to be vaccinated, or your colleagues at the hospital, and they get very, very sick and on ventilators? And the dynamics, I'd love to hear that conversation when people realize they're in a lot of trouble. And you're very gracious. I mean, if I were in your position, I would go, hey, how'd that work out for you? And you can't say that.
That's the question. This is the second most common question behind, tell me things that you've found up people's butts, right? So people want to know, what do people say when this all happens? And people aren't that honest with you. A lot of people, I mean, some people are spontaneously that honest and say, gosh, I wish I got vaccinated right now. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I really thought that I was immune to this. Or I thought my immunity, or, I'm a healthy person. And so I thought my immune system would be able to overcome this. And I was wrong, and this is bad. So we have seen that. But the majority of people, just aren't interested in talking about it. They're really sick. So the last thing they want to do at that point is talk about their regrets. They're just like fighting for, feeling like they're going to survive. They're scared. I mean, these people are literally scared. When you can't breathe, it's one of the scariest feelings that you can have. You're not necessarily in a lot of pain, but anxiety of not being able to breathe is severe. And these people are, a lot of them are having PTSD afterwards. They literally have the exact same symptoms as post-traumatic stress disorder because it's so stressful to live through COVID in the hospital.
Yeah, I'll bet. And as far as the number of patients you have in the wards and how are we doing there, or how are you doing there at Mission Hospital?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're very low. We don't have a lot of COVID patients. Right. It's really. I was worried when the kids went back to school. Nobody really knew what was going to happen there. But there must be a lot of natural immunity, or it's just not spreading through kids. The other thing is that we know that in areas with high vaccination rates, kids do better. And with kids in areas with low vaccination rates, kids do much worse. And so in California, we have protected our children by getting vaccinated. That's our safety.
Yeah, and then we have, this is where I think Gavin Newsom's legacy, I think, is going to be positive. I think history's going to look down at Gavin Newsom. They'll look back at Gavin Newsom. Very positive for mandating the masks and the vaccination, pushing mask changing and social distancing. I think it's going to work in this until the president. Because we have to stay away from this controversy. The other thing we do before we take a break, and I'm going to come back and ask a few other things that I want to cover, is we've never actually done a segment of people that go in the with legal things that they got covered.
I think that's what we're asking about this thing. I don't think that's full segment.
What we're going to do is we're going to a friend of mine who